Hello again, I'm Robert Fithen. In this video, I wanted to basically just talk about one particular album, and it is this one, Mdou Moctar and Funeral for Justice. Now, I don't usually do videos where I'm just spotlighting a single album, but I think I'm going to change that on this channel. I want to start doing more videos where it's just talking about one album in a shorter video rather than doing just... A lot of the videos I've been making recently are just showing like the 5 albums I picked up and they're kind of random or whatever. But this one I think is pretty special. It deserves its own video. I first heard this, streamed it when it first came out. People were talking about it, making videos about it. And it was great. I thought this was excellent. I thought, man, this is one of the best albums I've heard all year. I don't hear a lot of albums that have come out this year, but I did get a chance to catch this one. I'm like, man, when I make my top list or whatever at the end of the year, this will surely be on there. And then kind of put it on the back burner, you know, and was like, yeah, I'll get around to getting that at one point. And then just recently, I got the record for this, listened to it again, and then listened to it again, and then again, and then thought, you know, I'm not, why did I wait for December or January of next year to talk about this? I'm going to talk about it right now. So I thought I'd make this video, and like I said, I'm going to do a few more videos like this with my channel where I'm just kind of spotlighting a single album. And I did that with the Black Sabbath one, and so I'm going to do that with this one. And this one is so, there's so much life in this. It's so vital and so current and so, you know, right now. I'm usually talking about music from 35 years ago, 40 years ago, 20 years ago, and that's great. But that's pretty much the heart of what I'm listening to. But, you know, you got to step out and listen to something that's actually current and what's going on right now. And this is kind of a mind blower. This guy, Mdou Moctar, if you don't know, is from Northwest Africa, specifically Niger, which, you know, there's this whole desert blues scene that's going on, and not only in Niger, but in the surrounding places like Mali and Algeria, places like that. And a lot of it, or some of it at least, kind of has that sound like the old Zamrock stuff, where it's these bands where they got the electric guitar, they got the bass guitar, you know, they got the drums, and they're kind of trying to make this sound of like an American or a, you know, a Western blues rock band, or English. You know, a lot of them citing like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that as an influence. And that's cool, but Mdou Moctar definitely has his own thing. He's bringing his own culture right up to the front of these songs. Now, the electric guitar definitely sounds like, you know, this your classic rock, AOR rock guitar, but his vocals and what he's singing about is definitely Nigerian. In fact, this is a very political album. His albums are. This one is actually his latest one. This came out like 4 months ago. So even though I'm calling this a vital new, I mean, this is still from 4 months ago. I'm kind of late to the party on Mdou Moctar. There's plenty of people talking about him in the vinyl community, but I thought I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this. And if you're like me, if your whole bread and butter is 70s rock, you know, early 80s rock, late 60s rock, you love the psych rock, you love the hard rock, even the metal, you owe it to yourself to check this out. It is in the Tamashek language. It's not in English. And the singing of this is up here. It is that, you know, it's that range. I'm not going to try to sing in that range because that is that is a key that I should not even try to be imitating in. But it is up here, you know, like that. So it does have those vocals. It is extremely political. But it is in that language, so if you don't know that language, I don't know that language, so you're not going to catch the politics unless, and they did something very, very clever, the inner sleeve features all of the lyrics in English. So you can follow along. You know, when I'm listening to albums in languages that I personally don't understand, what I used to do is go to Google Translate, find the lyrics, Google Translate, and then whatever. But you know Google Translate. It doesn't always do justice to what they're actually attempting to say. But so they've made, they put the lyrics in English so you can understand what is going on here. And a lot of this is political. It is very much for the underdog, very much for the struggling people of his country, rising up against, specifically in some of these songs, French colonialism. Now, I don't know that much about the struggles of Northwest Africa. I do know that it is a desert. I know that a lot of riches, you know, pass through there, and I know that the class system there has got a huge gap in it, and the, you know, the wealthy and the not wealthy there's a huge gap in that, supposedly even larger than what happens in the U.S. And the lyrics are a lot about that, you know. But these aren't like kind of like complaining lyrics. These are rise up and rebel lyrics, you know, like the early Wailers. You know, you're gonna get up, stand up for your rights. That one song on here, he's gonna grab a spear and stab the devil with it. He's got a headache. He's not, you know, he doesn't want any medicine. He wants to get a spear and stab the devil. So it's lyrics like that, and I can get behind people, you know, doing, you know, they're just gonna, they've had enough. But it also is, you know, there's also tender moments on here as well. But yeah, just great. I mean, it's not, the guitar is so, I mean, just so like what you're probably used to, just hard rock guitar. But when you put the rhythms with it, when you put the lyrics with it, when you put that specific style of singing with it, it is this fresh, new, whole approach that you got to check out. If you love the electric guitar, you love hard rock, check this out at least once. The rhythms of this, that's like the 1 2 3 4 5, or 1 2 3 4 5, or 1 2 3 4 5, or sometimes 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. It's these different time signatures and this galloping, leaping, you know, beats and rhythms. Some incredible stuff on here. And to me, this is probably what it was like. I can imagine that this was kind of what it was like if you're listening to Santana for the first time and it's 1969 and you've never heard anything like this before, meshing Latin sounds, Latin rhythms, even in some cases Latin lyrics with this current hard rock sound, this guitar wailing sound. This is what's happening here, but instead of the Latin rhythms, it's the African Nigerian rhythms, you know. So it totally works. It doesn't, you know, on paper it might not look like that goes together. It completely does when you're hearing it. But yeah, check this out. Mdou Moctar, Funeral for Justice is what it's called. When I originally saw that title, I didn't know if it was like, are they saying that justice is dead and they're going to have a funeral for it because there's no more justice in the world? Might as well send it off, you know, properly with a funeral? Or are they saying funeral for justice, like we did something that involved in somebody no longer living, but we got justice and we're having a funeral for that? It's the first one. I found out later. It's a funeral for justice, as in justice is dead and we need to have a funeral. So, you know, listening to this, songs on here, you know, as I said, if you don't want to get political, you're not into that, just don't look up just don't look at the inner sleeve. You just go with the lyrics that they're singing, just kind of, you know, but check out that guitar. A song on here called Oh France, on side 2. You can kind of do what I do too, and just kind of, it sounds like he's saying, oh, go fuck yourself, oh, go fuck yourself. So he's not saying that, but he might as well be. But yeah, so you can have fun with these lyrics and they can kind of say whatever you're kind of picking out that he's saying in English. Of course, he's not, though. He's speaking in Tamashek. But yeah, so Mdou Moctar, Funeral for Justice. Check out this album on Matador Records. I remember them from college. I always wondered what happened to Matador Records. Glad that they're still around. Afrique Victime is the album before this. I definitely want to start checking that out as well. I'll probably pick that up if it's as good as this one. But yeah, a little bit of a mind blower here. A lot different. If you're looking for something that's electric guitar, rock oriented, but completely different, this is your thing. That's what I was looking for. A lot of new bands come out, a lot of new and people are like, oh, you'll love them. They sound just like Led Zeppelin. Or, oh, you like Pink Floyd? This new band sounds like Pink Floyd. I'm not really into that. I want the spirit of Pink Floyd. I want the spirit of what Led Zeppelin was like, blowing people away in 1969, 1971, you know. And this is kind of more like that. This is something you have not heard probably before, a style, a sound. And if that's what you're looking for, but you still love the hard rock electric guitar, again, Mdou Moctar, Funeral for Justice, give it a shot. Quick video again. Once again, my name is Robert Fithen, and let me know what you think of this. If you are listening to it on my recommendation, or if you've heard this, you know, when it first came out 4 months ago, or since then, let me know what you think. Or maybe you heard his earlier albums in the comments. So hopefully I will talk to you again soon.